Hey girls. I had to go heat up my coffee and I had to run to do it. Almost didn't make it back. But I did. Listen, it's been a long night in this house. Why is there like puppy sleep regression or something? Winnie has slept through the night since the day we brought her home. Or, well, I should say, my husband used to let her out about 2 a.m. when she was tiny, but for the last month, she's slept through the night. Not last night. 2 o'clock. She was crying and whining. And I thought, oh, she must have to pee. So I got up and let her out. Oh, and then she came back in and was racing and tearing around the house, picking up all her toys, squeaking her toys. I drug her into her kennel and she cried from 3 a.m. to 6. While I tried really hard to sleep, or at least pretend I was sleeping. I couldn't sleep, so I turned on Little House on the Prairie so I could hear it in the background because that helps me sleep. I don't know why, but it does. It's soothing. Pa, he soothes me. He soothes me to sleep, Pa Ingalls. So I listened to that while I tried to doze. And then she woke me up. And she's very clearly losing teeth because look at the blood. This is just from this morning from her mouth. And now she's sound asleep at my feet, snoring. It was not my goal for today, was to go without sleep. Just Mondays are not a day I can go without sleep. Anyway, enough of my complaining. Let's get to it. March 2nd. The people complained to Moses. Look at that. I'm in good company. Complaints all around. Numbers 11, 1 through 15. Soon the people began to complain about their hardship. And the Lord heard everything they said. The Lord's anger blazed against them, and he sent a fire to rage among them, and he destroyed some of the people in the outskirts of the camp. Then the people screamed to Moses for help, and when he prayed to the Lord, the fire stopped. After that, the area was known as Taberah, which means the place of burning, because the fire from the Lord had burned among them. Then the foreign rabble who were traveling with the Israelites began to crave the good things of Egypt, and the people of Israel began to complain. "Oh, for some meat," they exclaimed. "We remember the fish we used to eat for free in Egypt. And we had all the cucumbers, melons, leeks, onions, and garlic we wanted. And now our appetites are gone. All we ever see is this manna." The manna looked like small coriander seeds and was pale yellow like gum resin. The people would go out and gather it from the ground. They made flour by grinding it with hand mills or pounding it in mortars. Then they boiled it in a pot to make it into flat cakes. These cakes tasted like pastries baked with olive oil. The manna came down on the camp with dew during the night. Moses heard all the family standing in the doorway of their tents whining, and the Lord became extremely angry. Moses was also very aggravated, and Moses said to the Lord, "Why are you treating me, your servant, so harshly? Have mercy on me. What did I do to deserve the burden of all these people? Did I give birth to them? Did I bring them into the world? Why did you tell me to carry them in my arms like a mother carries a nursing baby? How can I carry them to the land you swore to give their ancestors? Where am I supposed to get meat for all these people? They keep on whining to me, saying, 'Give us meat to eat.' I can't carry all these people by myself. The load is far too heavy. If this is how you intend to treat me, just go ahead and kill me. Do me a favor and spare me this misery." It's quite dramatic, Moses. Moses chooses 70 leaders. Numbers 11, 16 through 30. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Gather before me 70 men who are recognized as elders and leaders of Israel. Bring them to the tabernacle to stand there with you. I will come down and talk to you there. I will take some of the spirit that is upon you, and I will put the spirit upon them also. They will bear the burden of the people along with you, so you will not have to carry it alone. And say to the people, 'Purify yourselves, for tomorrow you will have meat to eat.' You are whining, and the Lord heard you when you cried, 'Oh, for some meat! We were far better off in Egypt.' Now the Lord will give you meat, and you will have to eat it. And it won't be for just a day or 2 or 5 or 10 or even 20. You will eat it for a whole month until you gag and are sick of it. For you have rejected the Lord who is here among you, and you have whined to him, saying, 'Why did we ever leave Egypt?'" But Moses responded to the Lord, There are 600,000 foot soldiers here with me, and yet you say I will give them meat for a whole month? Even if we butchered all our flocks and herds, would that satisfy them? Even if we caught all the fish in the sea, would that be enough? Then the Lord said to Moses, Has my arm lost its power? Now you will see whether or not my word comes true. So Moses went out and reported the Lord's words to the people. He gathered the 70 elders and stationed them around the tabernacle. And the Lord came down in the cloud and spoke to Moses. Then he gave the 70 elders the same spirit that was upon Moses. And when the spirit rested upon them, they prophesied. But this never again happened. This never happened again. The two men, Eldad and Medad, had stayed behind in the camp. They were listed among the elders, but they had not gone out to the tabernacle. Yet the Spirit rested upon them as well. So they prophesied here in the camp. A young man ran and reported to Moses, Eldad and Medad are prophesying in the camp. Joshua, son of Nun, who had been Moses' assistant since his youth, protested, Moses, my master, make them stop. But Moses replied, Are you jealous for my sake? I wish that all the Lord's people were prophets, and the Lord would put his spirit upon them all. Then Moses returned to the camp with the elders of Israel. The Lord sends quail, Numbers 11:31 through 35. Now the Lord sent a wind that brought quail from the sea and let them fall all around the camp. For miles in every direction there were quail flying about 3 feet above the ground. So the people went out and caught the quail all day and throughout the night and the next day too. No one gathered less than 50 bushels. They spread the quail all around the camp to dry. But while they were gorging themselves on the meat, while it was still in their mouths, the anger of the Lord blazed against the people, and he struck them with a severe plague. So that place is called Kibroth Hattava, which means graves of gluttony. Because there they buried the people who craved meat from Egypt. From Kibroth Hattava, the Israelites traveled to Hazeroth, where they stayed for some time. The complaints of Miriam and Aaron, Numbers 12:1 through 16. While they were at Hazeroth, Miriam and Aaron criticized Moses because he had married a Cushite woman. They said, Has the Lord spoken only through Moses? Hasn't he spoken through us too? But the Lord heard them. Now Moses was very humble, more humble than any other person on earth. So immediately the Lord called to Moses, Aaron, and Miriam and said, Go out to the tabernacle, all three of you. So the three of them went to the tabernacle. Then the Lord descended in the pillar of cloud and stood at the entrance of the tabernacle. Aaron and Miriam he called, and they stepped forward, and the Lord said to them, Now listen to what I say. If there were prophets among you, I, the Lord, would reveal myself in visions. I would speak to them in dreams, but not with my servant Moses. Of all of my house, he is the one I trust. I speak to him face to face, clearly and not in riddles. He sees the Lord as he is. So why were you not afraid to criticize my servant Moses? The Lord was very angry with them, and he departed. As the cloud moved from above the tabernacle, where there stood Miriam, her skin as white as snow from the leprosy. When Aaron saw what had happened to her, he cried out to Moses, Oh, my master, please don't punish us for the sin we have so foolishly committed. Don't let her be like a stillborn baby, already decayed at birth. So Moses cried out to the Lord, Oh God, I beg you, please heal her. But the Lord said to Moses, If her father had done nothing more than spit in her face, wouldn't she be defiled for 7 days? So keep her outside the camp for 7 days, and after that she may be accepted back. So Miriam was kept outside the camp for 7 days, and the people waited until she was back before they traveled again. Then they left Hazeroth and camped in the wilderness of Paran. 12 scouts explore Canaan, Numbers 13:1 through 24. The Lord now said to Moses, Send out men to explore the land of Canaan, the land I am giving to the Israelites. Send one leader from each of the 12 ancestral tribes. So Moses did as Aaron had commanded him. He sent out 12 men, all tribal leaders of Israel, from their camp in the wilderness of Paran. These were the tribes and the names of their leaders. From Reuben, the leader was Shemua, son of Zakur. From Simeon, Shaphat, son of Hori. From Judah, Caleb, son of Jephunneh. From Issachar, Igal, son of Joseph. From Ephraim, Hoshea, son of Nun. From Benjamin, Palti, son of Raphu. From Zebulun, Gadiel, son of Sodi. From Manasseh, son of Joseph, Gadi, son of Susi. From Dan, Amiel, son of Gemalli. From Asher, Sethur, son of Michael. From Naphtali, Nabi, son of Vopshi. From Gad, Gaol, son of Maki. These are the names of the men Moses sent out to explore the land. Moses called Hoshea, son of Nun, by the name Joshua. Moses gave these men instructions as he sent them out to explore the land. Go north, through the Negev, into the hill country. See what the land is like, and find out whether the people living there are strong or weak, few or many. See what kind of land they live in. Is it good or bad? Do their towns have walls? Are they unprotected, like open camps? Is the soil fertile and poor? Are there many trees? Do your best to bring back samples of the crops you see. It happened to be the season for harvesting the first ripe grapes, not rice grapes, ripe grapes. So they went up and explored the land from the wilderness of Zin as far as Rehob near Lebo Hamath. Going north, they passed through the Negev and arrived at Hebron, where Ahiman, Sheshai, and Talmai, all descendants of Anak, lived. The ancient town of Hebron was founded 7 years before the Egyptian city of Zoan. When they came to the valley of Eshcol, they cut down a branch with a single cluster of grapes so large it took 2 of them to carry it on a pole between them. They also brought back samples of the pomegranates and figs. The place was called the Valley of Eshcol, which means cluster, because of the cluster of grapes the Israelite men cut there. The scouting report, Numbers 13, 25 through 33. After exploring the land for 40 days, the men returned to Moses, Aaron, and the whole community of Israel at Kadesh in the wilderness of Paran. They reported to the whole community what they had seen and showed them the fruit they had taken from the land. This was their report to Moses. We entered the land you sent us to explore, and it is indeed a bountiful country, a land flowing with milk and honey. Here is the kind of fruit it produces. But the people living there are powerful, and their towns are large and fortified. We even saw giants there, the descendants of Anak. The Amalekites live in the Negev, and the Hittites, Jebusites, and Amorites live in the hill country. The Canaanites live along the coast of the Mediterranean Sea and along the Jordan Valley. But Caleb tried to quiet the people as they stood before Moses. Let's go at once to take the land, he said. We can certainly conquer it. But the other men who had explored the land with him disagreed. We can't go up against them. They are stronger than we are. So they spread this bad report about the land among the Israelites. The land we traveled through and explored will devour anyone who goes to live there. All the people we saw there were huge. We even saw giants there, the descendants of Anak. Next to them, we felt like grasshoppers, and that's what they thought too. Shelly, like oatmeal or cottage cheese. All right. We're on page 202 at the top. This disordered eating and unhealthy behavior continued from 2003 to 2005 when I married that amazing high school boyfriend, the one who had loved my body at varying sizes and shapes. My wedding day felt like an exam I was taking to finally get the stamp of approval on my body that I'd been craving compulsively for the past few years. I regret that I was distracted by focusing on my body that day, but more than that, I regret that my unhealthy behavior led me to set a bar for myself that should never have been in place. For years, I tried to get back to my wedding day weight as if it was the pinnacle of perfection, as if it was something that could be attained without causing serious harm to my body. From 2003 to 2014, it will be quicker for me to list short seasons when I experienced freedom, or at least compassion for myself regarding my body image. In between my first and second kiddos being born, I felt full in the best ways, joyful and free, at ease and in no hurry to please anyone. The only problem was that there were only 4 months in between the birth of my first son and the date I got pregnant with my second. The peace was short-lived. I decided to become a runner in the summer of 2010 to help combat my postpartum depression after my third child was born. I explored new areas of strength in myself in that season, and I spent a lot of time talking to God. I was so distracted with the defeat and despair and the havoc my hormones were wreaking on my mind and my emotions. I had no energy left for my body shame. With the voice of shame quieted, I began to realize that running made me feel strong and brought me a daily sense of victory. In the spring of 2011, I experienced a miscarriage, and the shame came back, and this time, a new and fresh, pointy and jagged and very tender places. Not only did I battle the sensation of being too much, too fluffy, too messy, I also felt like my body was intrinsically inadequate in a new way. I began to provoke my body again. My exercise and eating may not have looked that different from the outside, but the motivation was withholding and perfection, not celebrating and healing. It was early 2014 when I sent the middle of the night email to Alyssa Keaton asking her to coach me. And it was then that I began praying this prayer: God, help me want to see you more than I want to see my body fit into some culturally acceptable mold. Help me to want you more than I want my body to seem good to others. Help me to believe what you've said about my body. In the 6 years since then, God and I have done a lot of work. On runs, in the kitchen, in my journal, in front of mirrors, in conversations with my counselor and my girlfriends. As a true Enneagram 8, I have mostly kept this very tender part of my heart to myself, sharing it only with those I'm closest to. But I always prayed about writing this book to share the freedom that God has given me. In the spring of 2019, I had a meeting with my publisher about my book, You Are the Girl for the Job. The conversation meandered to future books, and I said the brave thing that was thumping in my heart. Next, I'd like to write a body book. On March 4th, 2020, I had another meeting with my amazing editor, Stephanie, just days before the coronavirus pandemic hit the United States. We talked about a body book, about the pain points of women and what words God might give us to tell them. As I flew home from our meeting in Nashville that night, I hunched over my laptop, typed out the words of the first chapter. 9 days later, it felt like the world blew up as we began social distancing and everything stopped. I forgot about the book for a few weeks. I'm going to stop right there. All right, girls. It's Monday. I gotta head to the gym. And yeah, it's Monday. Feels like the weekend just started, but that's okay. Monday's a good day, right? Monday's always a good day. I have like 10 Zoom calls today. It's a busy, busy day, but that's good. Busy is good. Busy is real good. All right, let's go ahead and pray. God our Father, thank you for this time together, for the reading of your word, for this devotion and how it touches our hearts. God, I just thank you and praise you for Jess and letting us read her book and the impact that it's made on her lives. May she be blessed, God. And I thank you for each and every woman here. You know the individual struggles each are going through. You know all of the difficulties that they are walking through intimately, God. And I just pray that you would help us to lean into you today, to rely on you for our source of strength, to recognize you as the giver of life, God, and just help us to make choices today that are honoring to you, that are healing to our bodies, strengthening to our bodies. And may we honor you just with everything that we say and do in your precious name. Amen. All right, girly girls, have a fabulous Monday, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Go move your body, okay? Okay. Everybody say, yes, KJ, I'm going to go exercise.